Hello, world. It's John Pinto, your roving realtor, bon vivant, video blogger, and I am here with Eric Syren, all things home inspection, termite inspection, and roof inspection. How are you, Eric?
Very well, John. Thank you for asking.
Excellent. And Rafael Betances, how are you today?
Doing great, guys.
Excellent. So, we're going to talk a little bit today about termite inspections, further inspection findings, and I will wax poetic as a realtor on further inspection findings. First of all, as a listing agent, I do caution my seller. Try to move your personal property away from the walls in the garage. Make sure the attic access is open or accessible. Make sure the crawl space doesn't have a bunch of boxes and clothes on top of it. If you've got a room with a roommate in there, make sure the room is not locked.
Right.
And when I'm the buyer's agent, I really want a complete inspection. I don't want a lot of further inspections that need to be found because the listing agent thinks he's doing me a favor, providing me partial inspections, and that is not a favor. It's incomplete. So please comment, Eric, on further inspection findings, how people can prepare their house for showings, and what we should be cautious about with further inspection findings.
Oh, well, that's a great question, John. Thank you for asking. Further inspections are something that basically is an area of the home that we could not get to during our original inspection. A great example of this would be out in the garage. Typically, the listing agent will say, want to move some of the furniture out of the house, make the house appear larger, and that's fine. But when you put it out in the garage, it's up against the walls. We cannot inspect that area, and we're going to have to come back and do what we call a re-inspection. Unfortunately, a lot of the time when you're the buying agent and you've started these inspections, you're now in your contingency period, and you have a limited amount of time to get all those inspections done. So really, as a seller, you want to make sure that when the inspector comes, he can get up in the attic, he can get in the crawl space, and he can get around that perimeter area in the garage.
Thank you. Thank you. So let me think about a couple of other areas that are inaccessible. Every now and then they can't get into the breaker box. So how can we prevent that problem from happening?
Hopefully, you've left a list of information as far as where keys might be located. If not, we actually have a PDF on our website that's how to prepare your home for a home inspection. And it's basically, make sure the animals are gone, make sure everything's unlocked and accessible. It might seem very simple, but these are things that as a homeowner, you might not think of. I've actually knocked on the door of the home and the buyer or seller is wondering if I actually need to get in the house to do the inspection. Yes, we do need to get inside the house to do the inspection.
Well, thank you for that. And so are there any other inaccessible areas or further inspection items that we haven't addressed that we should bring up?
I just did an inspection the other day, and for some reason, the seller had a beautiful house, but the furnace, the water heater, everything in the garage was covered up. We couldn't get to any of those things. So as the buyer, you're not going to have any idea how well these things are working, if they're wired correctly, hooked up correctly, and operating properly, or even how old they are. So you want to make sure that you can get to all those areas at the first time you come there for the inspection.
Rafael, it sounds like that PDF and video on how to prepare your house for the inspection is a big one, because that will save a tremendous amount of aggravation for all parties involved, the listing agent, the buyer's agent, the buyer, and the seller, because it is just a nuisance if there's a lack of communications between those parties and HomeGuard on making sure they can do a complete inspection. So you have a great opportunity there.
Absolutely. And if any agent, tuning in and listening, it's or any offices would like us to come in and do these presentations, kind of like a lunch and learn kind of setting, we'll be more than happy to do that. Obviously, following all of the COVID rules and all that stuff.
I think there's a great opportunity to do regularly scheduled Zooms with real estate offices. Real estate managers are always trying to be relevant and come up with subjects. And I can't overemphasize how robust and content rich the HomeGuard website is with videos and PDFs. So there is a great opportunity, and I will encourage all of my fellow broker managers to consider setting up regular Zooms with HomeGuard. But in the meantime, we will continue to do these videos so everybody can watch them on their own. So, Eric, anything else on further inspection items?
Yeah, a very important thing to consider is when you're getting a termite inspection and there are further inspection items, you can actually, if we have all the section 1 damage completed, you can get a certification without those further inspections being done. I don't recommend that at all, especially if you haven't got into the attic or in the crawl space. Who knows what could be lurking down there, typically some kind of damage or termites. So make sure you get all those further inspection items completed before you go through with the transaction.
Let's use that concept as a jumping off point. I think there's probably 200,000 litigating attorneys in the state of California. Home prices are high in California, and we're talking about a lot of equity.
Right.
And so we want to make the transactions as least likely to be litigated as we possibly can,
Right.
which means you want complete transparency and thorough inspections. You don't want to leave anything to the imagination. You want to be very thorough on your disclosures. So we will use Eric's words to underscore that standard of practice, that over disclosure and transparency is best. Would you agree with that, Eric?
I would I'd absolutely agree with that. We don't want someone coming back after they purchased a home saying that they didn't realize that these issues were there. You want to take the burden off yourself as an agent and put that on our shoulders, and we'll come out and do that inspection and take that responsibility away from you.
And those are very wide shoulders indeed. I am happy to put things on your shoulders. I find your reports to be very comforting professionally. So thank you very much, Eric. And Eric, please direct us to where we should go online to get all this information.
Sure. Please go to our website at homeguard.com. We have a lot of information and videos, even instructional videos we have on there for first-time buyers.
And Rafael, if broker managers want to do any office meetings, Zooms, and or get this, if any agents want to do a Zoom meeting that they would invite their clients on any of these subjects, or they want their concierge, Rafael, to order inspections or get them information, how can they contact you?
Absolutely. You guys can reach me at 707-616-8762. You can call me, you can text me, or you can email me at rbetances@homeguard.com. That's the letter R, my last name at homeguard.com.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for imparting all of that information. I look forward to our next video together, and thank you all out there for watching our video, and we will see you on the next page.